President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders at the White House on Monday.
The meeting follows an unsuccessful summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, where no peace deal was reached for Ukraine.
Over 500,000 people protested in Tel Aviv, Israel, demanding an end to the Gaza war and a hostage release deal. Joseph Eckerson with the latest.
The demonstrations, part of a nationwide stoppage, saw over 1 million participants across the country. Families of hostages, including Lishay Miran Lavi, whose husband Omri has been held for 681 days, called for urgent action.
In Bolivia, two right-wing candidates, Rodrigo Paz and Jorge Quiroga, will face off in a presidential runoff in October. The Trump administration is deploying 700 additional National Guard troops from West Virginia, Ohio, and South Carolina to Washington, D.C.
The move expands federal control over the city amid a crackdown on crime.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
No coffee for you. Coffee is for closers. I don't know. What? Okay.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
No.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Ever since they changed things, been screwing that up.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
It's a kumbaya type of hate. It's like a different, it's hate, but it's nice hate. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. That's how I don't. You know what I mean? I know what you mean. You're on a push. Why did I be able to no comments over there and well, that's the show for you. Thanks for coming. Have a great day. Bye for now. Good morning, folks. It is Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? August 19th, 2025, or thereabouts. Good morning. We have a good show for you today. Well, in the second hour, Leanne Linsky from Plausible will be here. First time I will get to meet her. GD has, obviously, he's known her for years now. GD is a prominent member of her platform called Plausible with Z's, not S's, which is an interesting platform for comedians to do online work, an online comedy club, if you will, that also provide, if you sign up for their newsletter, you get a bunch of helpful tips and advice on getting your career together that GD promptly doesn't even read. He just trashes it all. I don't need any advice. Look at my career. I'm an award winner. That's what he says to me every day. I don't know if you know this, but we have lunch every day after the show. You think he's in Maryland? He's actually in the other room over there. And then we go to lunch, and all he does is talk about what a great award winner he is. Today, and this is something I think I'm going to have to address with Leanne, is she needs to book herself every day on this program, because last time she was here, I had a very good paying gig a morning gig I had to get to. And today I have a good paying gig that I don't have to get to right away. It's a daytime gig. So I'm thinking she's my good luck charm. I need to have her book every day, or at least 3 days a week on the program to keep me working, whether she shows up or not. I mean, I hope she shows up today, and I know she will show up today. She sent me an email almost at midnight last night saying, "Yeah, I look forward to it." So she'll be here today, but she doesn't have to show up in the future. All she has to do is book every single day, so that the superstitious, the people who control my superstitions will say, "Sure, let's book Matt because Leanne's on his show," or something. People are saying, I don't know if you know this, but people coming up to me with tears in their eyes and they're saying, "Sir." No, they're not. Nobody's saying. If they have tears in their eyes, it's probably somebody, they stubbed their toe. Nobody's coming up to me with tears. But this is a Trumpian thing, is to say people, big strong men, come up with tears in their eyes and they say, "Sir, please fuck me in the ass." And so I fuck him in the ass. Steven lied to me, speaking of fucking in the ass. Remember a couple of days ago, Steven said pay-per-view is dead. Well, it turns out some hip-hop holler, and Murder Mook. Do you know these people? Because I never heard of them before, but apparently they're having a big pay-per-view rap rumble. I don't know what this is. You know, first of all, I'm old. Second of all, I'm white. And second of all, third of all, I couldn't remember what first of all and second of all were. So how am I going to remember? Murder Mook is a name I'm not going to forget too quickly. And I would like to forget Murder Mook if I could. The holla guy, I don't know if it's hip hop or whatever. Holla. I see. I've already forgotten him, so he's not that memorable. But the point I'm making is, this is something the Rev does. What? But the point is, you keep coming back to the point. The point is, pay-per-view is not dead. It may be for, I don't know, rock concerts or what Steven likes, which is watch men rub balls on their other men's faces. In I think that's what MMA does, right? You basically hold the guy down, you rub your balls on his face, and they say you win. That's what MMA is. I don't know. I don't watch MMA, but it sounds like that. Anyway, there's no pay-per-view for that, so who cares? Unless you're into watching men rub balls on other men's faces. And can't you do that? There's got to be a site for that. I'm not going to promote any of those sites, but I'm certain you could get it. I finished that dopey video last night. We'll probably play that during the first hour. It's called, what's it called? Propaganda. That's right. That's what it's called. And not doing so well yet. It has to do well in the first hour. You know, I only put it out like probably around 11 o'clock last night. But if it doesn't do well in the first hour, YouTube says, fuck it. I'm not gonna push it. And so that's why I think I got like 100 in the first hour, which is not enough. You need thousands in the first hour unless, you know, it's a dead in the water now. But I'm going to ask everybody to go to your YouTube channel, and every time they see a Trump cult member posting some propaganda, to comment with the video underneath it. That's what I'm going to ask you to do. So I can get lots of hate mail, lots of hate comments from the MAGA people on the video. And maybe that will tell YouTube, yeah, we'll boost this. Boost it to the MAGA nuts. Mag nuts. Is that a thing? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to play a commercial for you if I can, because I'm still dealing with some weird tech issues. I'm going to play a commercial for you. And when we come back, we're going to find out what awards GD is most proud of winning, and why he doesn't really need plausible. He's just doing them a favor by blessing them with his presence every once in a while. And that's what we'll talk about when GD is in the room momentarily.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Started now. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now are the award-winning, is he, the one and only, T. Defenders. Good morning.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you concerned that troops will be coming to your city to stop the crime of driving to work while looking foreign? Order your It's Okay, I'm One of the Good Ones gear today.
Ooh, one of the good ones.
T-shirts, water bottles, bumper stickers, and more. If you can imagine buying it, we can imagine having it. MindDogTV.com/merch. The place to go to get all of your It's Okay, I'm One of the Good Ones gear.
You know what?
MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering and support your local mercenaries.
I wish you would have told me about this, so I would have had some. It's okay. I'm one of the good ones merch actually in the store, unless somebody beat me to it.
I just thought of it like just before. Well, matter of 3 minutes ago.
All right, that's fine.
Because originally I was gonna write about Hurricane Aaron.
Aaron. Now, Hurricane Aaron is supposed to be here Friday, but we've already. You notice I'm wearing. My wife said, "What?" Last night I was wearing a hoodie. She was like, "I can't believe you're wearing a hoodie." It got cold last night. It's been cold and rainy since yesterday morning.
Right.
I think it's because of Aaron, but every day is going to be shitty. My shows aren't getting canceled. That's the bright spot here. But it's one of these storms that lasts a week. It's supposed to get here Friday. I'm not sure.
Well, it's huge. Also, it's huge. So even if the storm doesn't directly impact, let's say, your little part of the island, its effects are going to the effects are going to just be like pulling in water from like everywhere.
Yeah, my little part of the island.
Yeah, your little part of the island.
I kind of it's a nice thought. I have a little part of you. It's whatever.
And I to be honest, I really believe in like plausible, and I'm hoping that what I'm trying to do doesn't damage them, because I don't have like a great track record. I don't have a great track record of things I support becoming great. You know,
and like you did to this show. This show was going good until you got on it. Now
that's true. This this show is, and then you had to hire me as a talentless hack. And
I actually, your purpose here, and you succeeded in fulfilling that purpose long ago, was to scare Willie away.
I'm the guy you hire to fire people. So I got rid of Robert Taylor.
Robert Taylor wrote to me about, I didn't even mention this to you. He wrote to me about a month ago, and he claimed, we were having a conversation several years ago now about how Richie Sambora got his 12-string sound on Wanted, Dead or Alive. And he decided that he found out it was because of the pick he was using. And he just sent me a quick TM about that. Okay. Well, out of the blue. I don't know. So, but that's the only time I've heard from Robert in the last 2 years. Robert Taylor, who is part of, I know he's been in that World Series of Comedy thing. I think Steven was kind of.
I think he said he's going to enter it next year.
Yeah, and somebody, I think, who was it? Slaptail trying to talk him out of it? Like, I don't know, somebody was trying to, maybe it was Bear Love. Listen, I'm sorry if I'm offending Slaptail by confusing him with Bear Love. I don't remember who said it to Steve.
Didn't try to talk him out of it. I think I wrote, if you do it, I'll do it. Maybe. I don't know. I was thinking of writing that.
Oh, that would talk me out of anything.
Yeah, I don't like competitions like that. I don't like competitions anyway, at all. I don't like them. I've only done.
I tend to agree with you. Competitions are for like football, basketball, baseball, maybe hockey, tennis, golf,
and things also that you can objectively measure.
Yeah.
You know, like in baseball, you can measure runs. In football, you can
All right.
measure touch points.
Art should not be about competition. I've always felt
Right.
that way. And you know what? It's, oh, you just anti-jockhead. Whatever. I'm going back to 1973 now, what people used to. Look at it, because you're not an athlete. That's why you feel that way, because you're a stoner, man. That's why. And maybe there's some truth to that.
Well, even when I used to pose as an athlete, you know, when I played 3 sports, was it 3 sports? 3 sports. Could have been 4. At one point, it was 5, but no, it should have been 4. It was 4. No, but and I have trophies and medals, and I think all of them except for football, which was my favorite sport, and that's really upset me. That you know, my favorite sport was football. That's the one I used to like put everything on the line for, and I have no trophies or medals or anything for sport. I have like 1 or 2 for track. I have like 4 or 5 for basketball, and I have 1 team trophy for baseball, but I didn't get an individual trophy.
Now, did you ever follow Major League Baseball? Were a fan of the Orioles?
I was a fan of the Orioles by obligation. You know, because I was in Baltimore, all of my friends were Oriole fans. My mother, my family were Orioles fans. I liked football. I thought baseball was boring, but
So
because
either way, I think
yeah,
I was trying to get to you hating me because 1968, 1969, 1968, which boiled over into 1969, the Jets broke Baltimore's heart. The Colts in Super Bowl III. So that gave you a reason to hate me as a young man, young
but
child.
see, that didn't even bother me back then because I had a Joe Namath football card, and I thought I know who Joe Namath is. You know, like, it's just no big. You know,
Wow.
I didn't care about. I cared about the Colts because, like, one of my neighbors was Jim Parker. He's, you know, Hall of Fame linebacker. Or, you know,
Whoa, you lived in a rich football star neighborhood. You were wealthy. You were upper class, as they say.
now remember, football players did not make a lot of money back then. They were like making 30,000 a year. You know,
Get
that's
out!
why
Get out!
I kid you not. Look it up. Maybe 50,000, but that would be like one of the higher. You know, you were like a superstar then, and that's why almost all football players had side hustles. Like they had car dealerships or restaurants or um, I'm trying to think. Oh, liquor stores, stuff like that. They all had side hustles to supplement their incomes.
Hitman
So,
Holla and Murder Mook. That's who
yeah.
they are. Do you know who these people are? Hitman Holla and Murder Mook.
No.
Why are they so? I mean, this Murder Mook guy says he's a high earner. He's the big money maker in rap music today. I did not know that. I mean, what should I know? I mean, I knew when Jay-Z was big. I knew when Eminem was big. I knew Dr. Dre. These guys who made even 50. These people who were making big money. I never heard of this Murder Mook guy. Is he a big thing anyway?
No, I think I heard of Murder Mike, maybe, but I don't know Murder Mook, and I'm not even sure if it's Murder Mike. It could be Murder Mike. I don't know, but um, I I don't know about big money maker because
Yeah.
it. I learned something from Prince a while ago, and it's not as far as making money goes. At the time. Uh, some pop star got like a $20 million a year contract, $20 million contract from a record label. And Prince's example, I think it's from an interview that he did with maybe David Letterman or somebody, and or Jay Leno, I don't know, somebody. And so he was breaking down an album, a record deal versus getting a piece of the album sales. And turns out if you just get a piece of the album sales, you could do better than the record deal itself.
Huh.
So it depends how big you are. Like if I got a record deal right now, let's say they gave me $50,000 for a record deal. That's $50,000 I would make more than I would make from sales.
I don't even think there are. I don't know. What do I know? But I'm not even sure there are such a thing as there is. I have a trouble with is and are today. Is such a thing as record deals anymore? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there is. I just. I mean, why would they? Everybody's doing this streaming stuff anyway, right?
Yeah, but still, record deals would also work for albums, maybe merchandising. Like if it all depends. I mean, a record deal just means you have a deal with the record company, right?
Right.
So let's say you're Matt Nappo. What?
Nah, I don't want to be that. Make me something else.
Okay, let's pretend you're
Murder Mook.
No, I was thinking of that country guy.
Don't say Toby Keith. If you say Toby,
no, the guy on the poster behind you. I can't remember his name.
Hank Porter.
Hank Porter. Okay, let's say you're Hank Porter and you got a record deal, and they say, okay, this is what we're going to give you. Plus, we're going to give you, if you sell T-shirts, you get 2% of that. If you sell the Hank Porter action figures, you get 2% of that. If you sell the Hank Porter guitar picks, you get 2% of that. And then
trying to sell naked wines. This is how.
Okay, and if you sell naked wines, you get 2% of that.
Yeah.
The Hank Porter coffee, you get 2% of that.
Coffee's gone way up because of the tariffs. I don't know if you know about this. This is going to be.
But you've already paid for your coffee, so you can.
No, I don't have enough to last till the end of this fucking nightmare that we're going through.
No, what I'm saying is, but you could actually sell yours at a different price or the same price, and it'd be cheaper than people are paying for in the stores.
I think I have better luck selling whatever the hell we were selling before that. I don't even remember anymore.
Weed.
Oh, it's I'm one of the good ones. Coffee cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if Trump goes into Baltimore, even though I don't live in Baltimore, that's still my hometown. Will I go out there to protest?
What is he planning on going to Baltimore?
He mentioned a bunch of cities. How he throws shit out there just to see how people react. Yeah. So we won't talk about the fact that he's an unregistered sex offender who palled around with a real sex offender. Real sex offenders. Sex offenders.
Epstein, by the way. Melania fucked Epstein. Melania fucked Epstein. I just want to keep saying that.
Okay. Yeah. So and the fact that he has not. He got fucked in the ass by Putin on live television. And so he tried to take it out on Zelensky, but what can I say? He's just trying to distract from shit. He's trying.
So he might go to Baltimore.
And he also gets a slight erection every time he does something with executive power that, something that he can do that nobody technically can stop. He gets a slight boner. He loves being in charge and in control, because that's the only time that he feels like he has any kind of power or any kind of relevance.
Boy, the whole country hasn't learned a thing from Thomas Barack. You know Thomas Barack?
Yeah. That's the youngest of the Baracks. So isn't he the youngest Barack?
I don't know about that.
Because there's Dwayne Barack Johnson. Right,
I get that. Tom Barack worked with Trump from time he was a young man, and he was basically Trump's little cock boy or whatever. But he was the guy who introduced himself as Trump's best friend at the Republican National Convention in 2016, and was vouching for what a good character he was and all this stuff. And he actually went to jail for committing crimes for Trump. Trump didn't even fucking lift a finger to help him out. So there you go. That's what we all are. We're all Thomas Barack. Well, not me, but all these people who support Trump.
But the funny thing is, every time it happens, the next person comes up and calls up to Trump and goes, "Yeah, but that was them. That won't happen to me."
Yeah.
I'm sure Giuliani said it. I'm sure Michael Cohen said it. I'm sure Roger Stone said it. I'm sure
Peter Navarro.
Peter Navarro said it. I'm sure that Steve Bannon said it. That happened to them. That won't happen to me. The only difference is that Steve Bannon was still useful to Trump. So Trump is still, had his back. He let him go to jail, but actually, I think by the time he went to jail, Trump was out of office anyway.
Wow. Did you see Laura? I think it was Laura Loomer. It might have been the other one. There's Laura Loomer, and there's Luna. I get them mixed up. They're both like crazy women who are hardcore Trumpers. One of them outed Lindsey Graham the other day. Came out and said, everybody knows he's gay, and it's like one of the worst kept secrets in Washington. And then Lindsey got all upset and ripped his fucking panties up and like was crying on Fox News about being outed. Why can't I get that tape? I want that. I want to be able to celebrate that. Just watching Lindsey cry. But listen, and she said this when she outed him. She said, "Come on out. It's 2025. You can be gay. You can tell the world you're gay. Why are you still hiding in the closet?" He's still hiding in the closet, or trying to hide in the closet. But you can hear him crying in there. Come on out, Lindsey.
I just wanted to address something in the chat room. The background that I have is from Shenandoah. No, sorry, Luray Caverns. Luray Caverns, and I think it's probably the first time my wife and I went there. Yeah, I think. All right. I'm almost positive.
I don't remember you going there. You didn't even clear it with me. You didn't even say, "Boss, can I have a day off to go?"
Oh, that's because this was 15 years ago, maybe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's because you're not my boss. That's the real.
No, I didn't even register.
All right. You know who Mike Dawes is?
Yeah. That's he's second baseman for the Yankees, right? No, Mets. Second baseman for the Mets.
Well, in between playing acoustic guitar shows all over the world, yeah. I guess. No, he's English. He doesn't even know how to play baseball. He never.
So he's a striker for Liverpool.
Possibly, but you were talking earlier about record deals, and he is a guy. He's doing very well for himself. Some people think he's the greatest guitar player in the world. He's worn that label, but a lot of people have worn that label over the years.
Yeah. I had that label once. Sure.
He doesn't call himself that, but he's incredibly remarkable. Remember, we were having that Mersin guy, and he was slapping and plopping and boop. And I was saying some of it is like miming for the cameras, like it wasn't real time. Right. This guy does that, all that stuff, and more, and he does it live. And you sit there watching him live, and it's pretty incredible. But he doesn't sign. He's not with a record label. He does everything through his website. When people order an album, he goes and has the vinyl made. His father goes to the post office and mails it out. Like his father is his record company, which is kind of funny, and ships it all and all that stuff. He said, now some people get angry because it's not like Amazon Prime where you get it the next day, because it's my father is shipping it to you. It could take a week or two. But I was watching a video of him last night, and I think it's worth sharing just because of you can see the difference between what he does and what that Marcin guy does. And listen, I'm not putting that guy down with all his showmanship. That's entertainment, and it's all good. And the guy is a legit, really good musician. But he's not doing what Mike is doing. Mike Dawes is incredible. So I'm going to play just a little bit of that. If I can figure out how to do this, you think I can?
I think he can figure it out eventually. I just don't know if he can do it without accidentally ending our stream.
No, I could do it. Yeah, let me see here.
For an older tune that I've been playing on this tour, which kind of one of the things we didn't really talk about last time was like polymetrics and playing like multiple times.
Polymetrics, you like that?
Kind of demonstrates that.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, people have names for these things now.
probably going to get a copyright strike for this, but I don't care. I'm going to stop sharing now. There you go. So now he's in there, and he's talking about all the setup that he's got. He's got a piezo bass pickup up here, so within the soundboard of the thing to get that bass sound. He's got another contact pickup down here underneath the soundboard of the guitar. He's got that little pickup that's in the hole, which is an electric guitar sound. He's got a Bose mixer, an 8-channel mixer that he goes to, and all these effects type of thing. So all that, and the guitar is set up with super low action, so you can do that tapping stuff. And then he does the pinch harmonics on top of that. All those things have their own different signal flow going through all his effect board and all that stuff. It's a really wild setup that he has there, but that just proves the point I was making. You can't just pick up any guitar and do that and get all that the drum sounds and all that kind of stuff. I don't know what they do with the nails to get that little clicky sound, because I could never do that. Even if I could do that, I couldn't get that sound, that little click thing. It would sound like.
Now that may be how close you are to the bridge. Because the closer you are to the bridge, the less the string vibrates and more of a tappy or clicky sound. More of a tack, less sustain. Yeah. The closer you are to the bridge, right? Yeah, the bridge. That's down here. Yeah. And I would say that because I used to do that as one of my effects when I wanted to. I could change the sound by picking closer to the bridge or further from the bridge or that kind of crap.
This guy, he's a millennial. And that's surprising that he must have never had any friends when he was young. He had to sit in his room playing guitar all friggin' day. There's no way he had time to ever have any friends or anything like that in his to be able to.
Well, I think what happens sometimes is that you don't have friends, but you hear this music in your head, so you're doing your best to play all of the parts.
Yeah,
and eventually you troubleshoot. It's like, okay, I can do this if I do this. I can make this if I do this. Like I think did he have a capo on? It looks like he had a capo on.
Yeah, he did have a capo on there,
and he was still playing above the capo. Right. And I know that because I used to play above the nut on my guitar.
Yeah.
So I used to play above the nut and put a little pressure on the nut to get So.
One of the things that gets me is he's talking about polymetrics while he's doing that stuff above the capo, and the left hand is doing a 4/4, and the right hand is doing a 5/4 against each other while he's just casually talking to Beato about last time I was here, and like, you know how fucking hard that is. How many you got? I mean, you talk about like drummers like Steve Gadd who can do like severe independence between all four limbs, and one is the right foot is playing in 5/4 and the left foot is playing in 4/4.
See, that's because what you're saying they're playing in 5/4 and 4/4, and I'll guarantee you that's not what they're hearing. They're just hearing a pattern. They don't give a shit about the time signature. It's just a pattern. It's a whole pattern, and so you break away from the countermeasures and 5/4 and 4/4 and 3/4. It's like, no, it's a pattern. I'm pretty sure it could just as easily be 10/8.
I'm not
or
sure.
anything.
Like, maybe that's the case with people like Dawes, but I know with Steve Gadd, when he teaches the stuff and when he talks about it, he talks about learning and breaking it down into this part is doing a 5/4 part.
Yeah,
you got to get this part first.
He's trying to teach it to people. And
right, but so when he comes up with those, and he even talks about this, like some of the pieces that he's worked on. He says basically he starts with breaking it down like that into individual elements. So I'm going to play 5 against 4 here between the feet, and the hands are going to play straight 4, but one is breaking it into paradiddles, going from paradiddles to different kind of things like that. So he definitely breaks it down into elements, and this using the thought process behind it.
I know with me, I didn't hear it like in 4/4 and 5/4 and countermeasures and stuff like that. To me, it was just like a whole thing. And as a matter of fact, I would get corrected sometimes. I would say, no, I actually hear it like this is 9/4, and I got 5 and 4 and da da da. And they're like, well, that's not right. But my brain is like, look, it's fine. This is what I think I'm doing. and my body just executes it. You know, and I'm just trying to tell people with what language I have what I'm doing. You know, but I can't. Now again, I'm not going to guarantee that's what he's doing because I'm not him. I just know the possibilities.
Did you see the whole video for propaganda?
It is short, but I don't know if I saw the whole thing, and I think
you're in the whole thing several times. Now, one of the things that comes up is the other day when Stephen was here, we were playing this song, and I'm looking back at the video, and we are so far out of time. Both you and I are way out of sync with the video, and I think it's because I'm playing it. I was playing it on one machine, and I was hearing the feed from the media source separately. But like, I know this song. I am like a good minute off of when I'm doing propaganda, lip mouth syncing propaganda. I'm like a minute off of the sync of the song, and I think it's because of hearing the delay and how this thing works. But you would think, since I'm coming from my machine right over here, you'd think I'd be in sync. You're also not in sync. And even if I take them out and try to sync them up, the time is different. It's like, are we doing it in different frame rates or something? Very weird.
That could also be, the frame rate, like you need a frame rate correction or something.
Really hard to sync that up. So in a couple of places, but I felt it necessary.
I didn't see for some reason, because like I said, I saw it. Maybe did I see it as a short or? Because I don't think for some reason it didn't start at the beginning when I saw it.
Yeah, I only played the short. That's the one you commented on. Good stuff.
Okay, right. So I haven't seen the whole video. So I just saw the short itself, and I think I shared it. And so I didn't see the whole thing. So I did see the short.
I'm going to play the whole thing here. But one of the things to look out for, I won't mention in this kind of out of sync stuff. Stephen is kind of in sync with, even though he doesn't know, but he looks like he's half asleep or stoned out of his fucking mind.
He was on the air, so he was probably stoned out of his fucking mind and half asleep.
Yeah. I have to play it from here, don't I? Oh, no, maybe I could play it from here. Let me see. Share the video file.
Well, set it up, everybody. This is the latest hit, the newest thing to take over the internet's propaganda by your one and only Matt Napo.
It's not
take it away, Matt.
I can't take it away. I gotta have to do it from here. What the fuck is going on over there?
Take it away, Matt Napo. Oh, yeah, hello, Ann and Sunshine in California. Hello, Ann, California. Welcome to the show. Hello, Sunshine. Good day, Sunshine.
Propaganda. Here we go.
Stand up to make America great again, but your thoughts and prayers are gonna have to wait again. Just 2 weeks and another 2 weeks and another 2 weeks, and every time he speaks, you shout "Say Al" and salute with a smile. But the leader of the cult was convicted at trial, and the message is constant, it's loud and it's clear. Just tell them that they're winning, they'll believe what they hear. The resistance lays down and cowers at the feet. A nature once was strong, now crumbles in defeat. Lies upon lies with deadness in their eyes. The truth is exposed, but still they deny. Surrendered identity, deaf, dumb, and blind. Reciting the mantras, controlling their minds. It's all propaganda. 24/7 film at 11. Propaganda. Creating the Aryan white man's heaven. Propaganda. Fooling with the nation, a stage assassination. Propaganda. Is it a riot or a peaceful demonstration? Yeah. transparency, right? Making bank off the office. And Joe Rogan can suck my dick too. Yeah! You're listening, bro. Full transparency, right? Making bank off the office. And Joe Rogan can suck my dick too.
Wow, that's kind of nasty. Why are you mad at Rogan? What did he do? That's it. You can please share that. Go to YouTube now. It's up live. Go on there. Share it. Every time you see a right-winger Trumper, not necessarily right-winger, a Trumper posting some propaganda, just comment with that video underneath them, and you'll be doing us a great service. And maybe somebody will actually buy that track for their 99 cents, where it's just using that code on there. I would say a lot of work to do that. All those motion graphic stuff, mimicking the Fox News like motion graphics and stuff. Oh my God, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I was admiring that. That's the kind of work that I won't put into a video, even if it calls for it. You're like, okay, full disclosure, I was working on something. I was trying to animate something that I'd done for Politipod a while ago, and I was trying to animate one of my scripts, and it sucked. Unless I pay extra money for the extra features and stuff, I couldn't get consistency. I couldn't get anything that I wanted, and I was like, "This fucking sucks." And so I sent the script and I sent the audio track to Matt, thinking that, well, who can just plug and play or something, and to see what his stuff would come up with. But because I get frustrated because it doesn't do what I want to do, and I know what I want to do.
Yeah, there's no way. AI doesn't like that stuff at all. I tried, and you know what? They want you to buy all this stuff without ever seeing how it's going to work. Like, right. I'm not going to spend $500 on an AI thing and then say, well, it doesn't do what I want it to do. I just wasted $500.
And a lot of times you're not even buying it; you're renting it.
Right.
And I'm so sick and tired of buying shit for 1 month. And then even when I buy it, it goes like, okay, you bought the basic package. If you want the basic package or the basic package or the super duper package, you have to pay. It's like, fuck you. I want to see what this can do without, I don't want to invest a whole lifetime of income for something that may not do what I want to do.
Yeah. That Lisa AI is the thing that made me that hip hop guy in that video. That's fucking weird. It just takes your image off of your Facebook profile and then makes you whatever you'll do whatever you want with it. So it made me a hip hop guy. Gave me a Tim Pool hat and lots of tattoos that I would never get in real life.
Yeah, I saw all those tattoos. Like, wow, that's gotta be that temporary henna stuff because Matt didn't have this.
There was a time during like the early 2000s when the dollar store was selling those, whatever they rub-on tattoos and stuff. And I was kind of like doing it up with all sorts of fake tattoos, going to gigs that way, just as a goof. But no,
Sunshine says, "Good video, thank you."
Thank you. Please share it if you can. Go on YouTube, MindDog, youtube.com/MindDog. And it should come right up on top as most current video. And please like and share and all that stuff. We need all the help we can get around here to make. I don't know if it's actually monetized, the video, because it says it's got a few. Joe Rogan could suck my dick too. Lots of nasty stuff in there. But you know what? It's done now, and I could move on to doing a don't forget about Epstein video, because it seems like a lot of people are forgetting about it. They got away with it. They just let that slide. We're not going to release the files. We're not going to release the files. We're not going to release any of the evidence. We're going to do some grand jury stuff. Blah, blah. That never happened. And now it's on. We're moved on to he's a great peacemaker, even though no wars are ending, and Putin doesn't care what he says. But great, he's had nice meetings. He makes phone calls. He deserves credit for phone calls.
Yeah. That was last night. I told you I was working on one more song. I was working on a song for my wife because she's mentioned a while ago that I've never written a song for her, and I explained to her that that's because she hadn't hurt me, and like the other people had. But so I finally came up with an idea for a song that I was kind of fond of, and the music came into my head last night while I was sleeping, and I didn't realize I was dreaming until I realized I was looking at myself, and I was staring over myself watching me sleep, and that's when I realized, oh shit, I need to wake up so I can write this down because I'm not going to remember this. It's a really neat, complex drum part,
Wow.
And
have you seen a psychiatrist about this?
No, but I did. When I did get up, I went to see the toilet because that's what got me out of bed, having to pee. Well, I take that back. Here's the funny thing. Part of the drum rhythm, I'm like, I like this rhythm. Well, part of it was my cat banging on the door trying to wake me up to let her outside. So she was like, boom, shh, boom, shh, boom, shh, and tapping and sliding her paw down the door. And that was all part of the rhythm that I was hearing. And then I woke up and hear the cat going, shh, shh, shh. I'm like, okay, now I gotta pee.
No, you should sample it. Yesterday I was bringing back, putting the big water cooler bottles in the car, and I started. Those water cooler bottles have some great tone to them, and you could do like a little drum thing on the bottle. And I thought, well, I got to record this and loop it, and use that as a thing. You should have put a microphone on that cat scratching the door thing.
Well, all of my microphones are in the basement right now.
Keep scratching.
Yeah, as soon as I wake up, she's done her job, so she stops scratching, and she starts walking. So as soon as my eyes open, she goes, "Okay, you're awake," and she starts walking and wants me to follow her. That's the reason why I won't ever get buttons for the cat, because she likes, she'll bang on the door and then she walks to what she wants you to do. She doesn't, she would walk me to her buttons and point out to the button she wanted me to push for her. That's what she would do. She wouldn't push the button. She'd go like, that one.
I don't think cats, even if you were inclined to do that, I don't think cats are cooperative in that way. Oh, you bought buttons? Fuck you. I didn't tell you to buy buttons. Now, dogs would more likely say, okay, you want me to use the buttons? I use the buttons. But cats are like independent. I don't care what you spend your money on. I'm the boss here. You work for me.
I think if you get them as kittens, because we got Elsie, she was grown and traumatized when we found her in the woods. She was in like straight up survival mode. Just trying to stay alive because everything outside wanted to eat her because she was frail and fragile and she couldn't hunt. She was basically living off of insects that she was catching. High in protein, but you had to catch a lot of insects she was still starving, slowly starving.
My wife was all excited because she watched a chicken hunt a cricket. I didn't know they were meat eaters. To be honest with you, I knew. Yard birds will eat anything on the ground, but I never thought they actually sought out bugs and ate them. That's a whole other.
And horses and deer will eat meat if they'll eat small animals when they crave it.
Wow, a horse! That's gotta be.
Yeah, they'll eat small birds if they catch on. I think that's why they poop in such big piles, so the birds will come along and they use their shit for bait. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Who run good pods? We're trying to branch out from the physics department to the biology department, if you don't mind giving us a little boost over there, because we are big in science. This is the number. Well,
he is a science, so we still could stay in the science department by talking about the biology.
Yeah.
And even the weather. We're talking about Hurricane Aaron. That's all boost the science stuff.
Yeah, I was really concerned that it was gonna screw up my gigs this week, and I take things for granted. Like I shouldn't be smarter than that by now. You can never, especially in the summertime, outdoor stuff. You can't take gigs for granted. Just because they're on the calendar doesn't mean that's money in the bank.
That's true.
You don't count your chickens.
No, you don't count your chickens before they hatch. You don't borrow money against a gig that hasn't happened.
Oh, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm gonna get $30,000 in.
Now, I did not know this, that BG was a swimmer in the morning, because apparently he was swimming with skates. He's a morning swimmer. Is that?
Hey, got my morning skate out of.
Yeah, that's like a manta ray, right? Those are like a skate is like like a devilfish or a manta ray or.
Did you ever skate?
I mean, skateboarding. Oh, okay. Or he's rooming with a skate.
Did you ever skate?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're the only black guy. Did you ever see any other black people around skating?
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I'm not.
You fucking kidding me, right?
No, I'm not kidding at all.
Oh shit!
We had rolling ice, which is skating rink. We had both rolling.
Okay, you talking about ice skating or roller skating?
Both in the same building, but it was in a very black neighborhood, and you go in there and there'd be nothing but white people, no black people in there at all.
There was how should I put it? There was a roller rink in Columbia, Maryland. I can't remember. I think it was called Skateland, and Columbia was like 95% white. Okay. But we would get busloads of blacks to Skateland. And on those nights, they weren't playing the white music that they usually played, the da 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 da. Oh, they funk it up. They would funk it up. And we'd be out there like busting a move and shit. I mean, just it was great. It was that was our shit. I mean, I grew up. Well, my sister is the one that taught me how to skate. And that was because she was 6 years older than me. And so like she was like 12 and 13. She was supposed to be babysitting me while my mother worked the overnight shift. And I don't even know where my father was. My father could have been sick and dying by that time. Well, he died when I was 8, so he already had cancer. And he was in and out of the hospital quite a bit before he died. So there's some nights when my sister should be babysitting me. Or my father could have just been out whoring around and my mother was working the overnight shift. But my sister could be babysitting me like on a Friday night, and she'd sneak out to go see her boyfriend, and she'd have to take me with her. And part of the bribe was, I'll take you roller skating with me. You can't tell mom or dad that we did this. I'll buy you a hot dog and candy. And because I didn't have Coliseum skates and my feet were too small for rental skates, I had to take my first I didn't have, in the beginning I didn't even have those kinds of skates. I didn't have any skates. And so I used to just take off my shoes and socks and slide on the floor, back and forth near the bleachers.
And just take those over, whatever.
Yeah, risky business.
Yeah,
and I used to do that near the bleachers. And then I got my set of metal skates, and you couldn't put the metal skates on the wood floor. You had to have wooden wheels on the wooden floor. So I would skate on the outside on the concrete, up and down,
Why? If black people skate,
what you mean if?
Well, first of all, I want to clear up what BG's saying in no race in skateboarding. I wasn't alluding to skateboarding, although I'm just learning about black skateboarders now. I was alluding to actual skates like roller skates and ice skates. The question remains: if black people skate, why aren't there more black people in hockey? Because skating is the primary skill set for hockey.
Now, when it came to hockey. Well, when it came to ice skating, my family, we used to go ice skating as well, but that was not part of it. Was the music. They played ice skating music. They didn't play the bumping music that we got at the Coliseum, and I don't think we had enough black people going to the college. Again, we didn't have an ice skating rink in Baltimore. In Baltimore, we had a roller skating rink over It's called, I think it was called the Coliseum. It was over near Dixie Sugar, Dixie Cup. It was over near Dixie Cup. Dixie Cup had a company, a plant in Baltimore, and there was a roller skating place called the Coliseum, I think. And we used to go there, I think, up until my aunt moved to Columbia, and that's when we started going to Skateland, because my aunt lived in Columbia. We'd come out to Columbia to visit my aunt. We'd make it like a road trip. And then once the ice skating thing opened, my aunt says, we should try ice skating. You know, and that was something we had not done as a family. We always roller skated. My aunt thought that the ice skating and roller skating would be like the same thing.
So, as a representative for the entire African American race,
yeah,
why aren't there more black people playing hockey?
I just think it's a matter of opportunity. To be honest, I mean, it's like okay. We played football because there was football fields near us. And I said football field, I mean an alley where we could play touch, a street where we could play touch, or an abandoned field where we could play tackle.
Yeah.
Okay. Or baseball. We could play baseball in the alleys, in the streets, in the fields. You can't do ice skating like that. You have to have an ice skating rink.
Oh, well, if you got
water that freezes over.
Right.
And we didn't, and in the city, at least where I was, we didn't have any place where there was enough water to freeze over. And if it did, it was like maybe a part of the alley. So you had like a 10-foot by 8-foot strip, and we might slide with our shoes, but no point in having skates.
You know, I've never spent any real time in Baltimore, but I'm certain there are parks with small ponds in them that you could put like a hockey rink or something.
Okay.
But to be fair, I mean, we lost quite a few kids on ice that wasn't quite frozen enough. This was the big issue. If it wasn't frozen enough, oh well, there's one less kid in school on Monday because
once my aunt moved to Columbia had three man-made lakes. Killamuckundy, right? Killamuckundy, Owen Brown Lake, which I think is Lake Elkhorn, and then another lake they call Wild Lake. Now, and they will all freeze over, and we come to visit my aunt and stuff. We'd go out to the lakes and we would like go out on them. But that was like really foreign to us still, I was like still trying to figure out the science. Like they would tell us that when the flags are red, you can't go on the ice. When you can go on the ice, the flags will be green. They had these big flag poles, and they would test the ice. And once it got thick enough, they would put the green flag up, and then you can go out on the ice. And that meant for ice skating, not for fucking driving. But these crazy white kids, I'm sorry. When I grew up, I didn't know about crazy white kid stuff and black kid stuff. It was just playing, okay? You just played games. Once I got exposed to like the white teenagers in Howard County, oh my God. I learned the phrase crazy white boy stuff real quick, okay? I mean, we stole stuff.
What crazy white boy? Cause I'm a white boy. I was a white boy, I think.
But okay. For example, in Baltimore, we stole stuff. Okay, we did the thieving. Okay, we stole candy bars. We stole potato chips. We stole food from the stores. So we can go out and sit out and talk and drink soda and play football and stuff. We stole stuff like that. When I moved to Howard County, these are rich kids. They weren't stealing because they needed food. They weren't stealing because they were stealing for entertainment. And they were like saying things like, hey, we'd go to a construction site and they go like, let's steal that backhoe. I'm like, what? They say, yeah, we'll come back on Sunday because they take the weekends off. And for 2 days, that stuff is not watched. And we'll steal the backhoe. I said, well, where are you going to take it? So we're going to just, we'll take it to the next field. We'll play with it. So the crazy shit that we didn't do. And even when we went to construction sites, we played on like the mounds. We played on the equipment. We played on the buildings they were trying to build. They had the rafters and stuff, the beams. We played on it. We didn't try to take the backhoes home with us or drive them around. We didn't even try to start them up. We got behind the wheels and pretended, and we get in the buckets, but we didn't steal that kind of shit.
I'm gonna have to plead guilty here. In my second year in college, I was a resident assistant, which meant I was in charge of all of freshman dorm wing, and one of the guys on my wing, this guy Lou Bogle, he didn't have money for cigarettes, so he said, "You know what? I'm going to steal the cigarette machine and put it." He told the entire cigarette vending machine and put it in the bathroom right in front of, across the hall from my room. And then he told me about it, and I was like, "That's fucked up, Lou. We're gonna get in trouble here. I'm gonna get in trouble because I'm the resident assistant here." And then he talked me into stealing the candy machine. First, we stole the soda machine. We stole that and put it in the men's room across the hall. And then we were stealing the candy machine. And by that time, somebody had called the cops, and the university cops were surrounding the place. We saw the lights come on, and we just dropped the fucking candy machine and went ba-boom, and we all ran to our rooms. And I kind of made like I was asleep by the time the cops came knocking on my door, like, there's the cigarette machine.
And see, we were rip off sodas from the soda machine. We would make slugs and coins. We'd take coins out to the railroad track and put them on the track, and the train would run them over and make them bigger and stuff. And we will make our own currency, our own coins, our own change. And yeah, we would steal like sodas. So if there was like 4 of us, we'd steal 4 sodas, maybe 4 bags of chips, stuff like that. We weren't stealing it for profit. But when I moved to the county and had these little white friends, they were like, "Let's steal the machine."
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why? Why steal the machine? It's like there's only 3 of us. We just need 3 sodas. Like, what are we going to do with a machine full of sodas?
Because the idea, I tell you why Lou came up with this, because he wanted to break in it, and he didn't want to arouse suspicion by breaking the glass out in the lobby where people might hear it. So let's bring it back to the bathroom on our wing, and we'll break into it there where nobody will hear us or find us breaking into the thing. That was the whole logic behind it, but it was stupid logic to begin with. Lou should come on this program, although I have a feeling that Lou's probably a Trump.
He's doing time?
No, Lou's not doing. He's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Lou is a wild guy. He's like one of these skinny guys who just had a world of power and strength in him. 98-pound, soaking wet, but strong as a fucking bull. But he was a crazy motherfucker from Jersey. But I've been in touch with him a little bit on Facebook. I have a feeling he's a Trumper, and now I can't be friends with him anymore. Good morning, Ian. I wanted to. Too bad Ian wasn't here when I shared that. Michael.
He can hear it again later. We'll play it again later. I know.
Oh no, not the propaganda. I wanted the Mark Dawes thing, the guitar.
Okay.
Tapping.
Now we used to skateboard when I was a kid as well. And that's because we didn't buy skateboards. I don't even know if you could buy a skateboard, at least in Baltimore when I was a kid. I never saw a skateboard, I never saw a store-bought skateboard until I was like 14 years old. When I lived in Baltimore, we had metal skates with the key, ball bearing number 5, ball bearing number 7s. Those are the 2 top ones. And the ball bearing number 5 was like the shit to have. Ball bearing number 7s, I think, had the toe guard. It wrapped all the way around your toe. And ball bearing number 5s like clipped on, and they dug into the side of your shoes.
I have a feeling you're busting my ball bearings.
And so if you broke one of your skates, you had one skate left. You could use it for parts if you bought another pair. Or you could take that one skate and make a skateboard with a 2x4. So all of our early skateboards were 2x4s that we broke the metal skates apart and screwed them into the ends of the 2x4s, and that's where our skateboards came from. And we were doing like little stunts, like the jumping and stuff like that, and like the stunt that I liked, because I used to try to think of these stunts and say, now let's see if we can do it. And Peanut he was like 6 months old. He was a year older than me because his birthday was in November also, but he was a year older than me. So he was so much wiser, And so I'd say, well, let's do this. Let's get on the hill. Let's go down there and let's swap skateboards. While we're going, I'll get on your skateboard. You get on mine because you can't do that. That's sure. First, and I would figure out how you would do it. So we'd match speeds and then, get close enough. Then I'd get 1 foot on yours. So we'd at one point we're both straddling and then we move our legs over. that kind of stuff. But we didn't do anything fancy like the 360s and shit like that. But then again, we didn't have ramps. If we had a hill, it was because the street was the hill. You know.
I was looking it up because this is interesting. Black skateboarders have significantly contributed to skateboarding scene. But you don't hear about it. Like, there are only a few of these skateboarding guys who are like celebrities, right? Tony Hawk,
right?
People like that.
And Tony Hawk is still a celebrity, and he's what, 60 years old? Actually, I know he's not 60. He's what, 50? 45, 50?
It's got to be getting up there, right? With many breaking barriers, inspiring others, key figures include Marty Grimes, don't know him, one of the first black professional skateboarders and the first to receive the signature board, and Ray Barbie, known for the smooth dance-like style. Other notable names include Kareem Campbell, Harold Hunter, and Steve
Elijah Houston.
Yeah. Don't know that one. That one's not listed on the AI stuff that I said. What about black skateboarders?
Clyde Singleton.
Wow, he's gonna keep. Did I name Kareem Campbell?
Kareem Campbell.
I did name that one. That was the first one of the first ones I named. But yeah, where do you even see? Is there like a? There's not like a league, or I mean, it's not like ESPN.
Well, I guess if you're gonna pay attention to it, I guess X Games is like the ultimate thing. But I'm sure that on YouTube there are sites. You know, some kind of, you know, just like that guy that used to be on the show, Stephen Jorge. I think he had a Hispanic last name, Stephen Jorge, Stephen Orton. But anyway, he has this flight simulator thing that he's really into, you know, and I'm sure there's the same thing for skateboarding or skateboarders.
The Olympics isn't big enough. No, not for me. This is BG saying that. No, I haven't watched. I can't remember. You know what? The last time I watched any Olympics, and this is not, it was Tanya Harding breaking Nancy Kerrigan's kneecap or something. And even that, that's the only reason I was watching that was because of that. You know, the Olympics just wasn't. I've never been all that. Summer Olympics were big when I was a kid. Mark Spitz, I remember watching that with eagerness, but never was a big Olympic fan of Olympic sports. Here's how far back I go back with the Olympics. George Foreman in Mexico City, winning the heavyweight boxing thing and then walking around with the American flag like that. That's probably one of the biggest memories of the Olympics. I don't know. You watch the Olympics?
I used to.
Yeah. You used to. I used to too in 1968.
No, I mean, I think I stopped watching the Olympics around 24 years ago. The last, I think the last 5 years ago. It could be one of the last people I dated before Carol and I got together. Her and her mom used to love the Olympics, especially the Winter Olympics and gymnastics, especially the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
And so I would watch the Olympics with them. But they were also the ones that got me to watching those fix your home up shows. You know, you fix your home it's like fix your home up in a weekend kind of thing. And I watched those things and I got so convinced that I could do that kind of stuff that when I bought my first house, I had all these projects laid out, and each one was like a weekend. I'm going, okay, I can tear the floor out of this and do this in a weekend, and I can tear the floor and paint this and in a weekend, and I can redo this bathroom in a weekend. It took me like, I think 5 or 6 years to do those projects, and all of them still weren't done when I sold the house.
I'm glad they didn't let you watch the Playboy channel. God knows what you would have been trying to do.
No, I didn't watch the Playboy channel. No.
Yeah, because you would have been trying to be Hefner, and that would not be good.
Not really. I don't think Hefner didn't fascinate me.
No, he was a goofy old man. Like, who would want to be you Hefner except for the
this is it. He didn't appeal to me as being cool. He didn't appeal to me. He appeared to me as somebody who wanted to be cool and liked and fake.
The idea, him, not necessarily him, but the idea that you could just make a life out of never wearing anything but a robe and walking around your house with a pipe and just have your house filled with beautiful young women.
I was a very unattractive child. Having a beautiful woman was never on my radar. Never. It wasn't until I got into college and girls, the really attractive women, were using me for my brain. Can you help me with my paper? Sure. I'm like, oh, okay. And can you write my term paper for me? All right. So I just, yeah.
You're like the anti-Willie now.
I was a very unattractive person in my youth.
You're being the anti-Willie. Let's bring Leanne in, because it's been long enough. I haven't gotten to meet her in 5 years or 6 years. She's been affiliated with this program now. What was that? Like 2 or 3 years ago? When was that time?
I have no real concept of time.
Oh, you're like a dog.
I'm worse than a dog.
Yeah, you're like all right. Leanne Linsky is a comedian, entrepreneur, and founder and CEO of the online comedy club plausible.com. She's here now, and let's say good morning to Leanne Linsky. Good morning, Leanne.
Pleasure. Good morning. Good to see you.
You are my lucky charm. Here's the deal. You need to book yourself on this program every single day of the week, whether you're going to come or not. I'm glad you're here this morning, but it seems like every time you are scheduled to be on this program, I have a very good paying gig during the daytime, which I don't get. So if you don't mind, just go to the calendar and just put yourself on forever, every day from now on. And then I will be full with work and happy. So.
Nice. Well, congrats. Yeah. See, I work magic in so many ways.
Yeah. Tell me about the magic of Plausible. Now, how long ago did you found this plausible.com?
So, well, I had the idea way back in 2014, 2015 when I moved from New York to LA. And I was like, oh my gosh, I miss all of my friends in New York. And also, why am I spending all my time on the freeway and not the stage? So that's when I initially had the idea of this whole concept. And then I was like, oh, Skype, and I was using Zoom for work at the time, believe it or not. And that was way back then. But most people weren't familiar. So life got lifey. I was doing shows. I was doing podcasting, whatnot. And then fast forward to August of 2019 BC, before COVID. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take an open mic and do it online. So I invited people from the East Coast and the West Coast. And they were like, hey, we'll pay you. People ended up paying to come to the open mic. And I was like, wow, that's great. I kind of cobbled it together with a scheduling tool and all that kind of stuff for people to sign up. And then COVID happened. And then suddenly everybody was doing everything online. I'm like, okay, here we go. But then the idea was, the existing technologies created their own problems because they're not designed for entertainment. They're designed for work, and they do a good job with that. But I don't want to go to a show and feel like I'm in there with Bob with accounting. No offense to Bob, no offense to accounting, but so and there were other problems that need to be solved, I think, for comedians as well. So to answer your question, I had those ideas, but I actually then went back to school for my master's in innovation and entrepreneurship, so I could kind of get into the ecosystem and figure out like, how can I do this? Because I'm a non-technical founder. I don't code. So I needed to figure out, how do I find people who code? Because so I ended up getting incubators and accelerators and built a team. So we launched our live platform in December of 2022. So and so we've been live ever since and growing ever since. And yeah, it's been a wild ride.
All right, be honest with me. Any regrets?
Sometimes.
Here's what I have in my mind, because being in the arts my entire life, I've seen a lot of people do this, musicians, comedians, actors even. You know what? I would love to have my own club. I opened up my own club, and now all of a sudden I'm a club owner, which I never signed up to be. I wanted to be a musician. I didn't want to be a club owner. And now I'm doing club owner work, and it's just killing my soul and my energy and my creative spirit. Why did I even do this? Any of that ring true with you?
Yeah, I think so. And, it's interesting because when I started doing it, like when I went back to school, and then they found out I was doing comedy, everybody's like, oh, tell a joke, like to start a class. I'm like, I don't have any jokes appropriate for classroom. But, I wanted to be taken seriously too, because I didn't want people to think this is just some half-baked idea. So it's interesting. It's like walking a fine line. Sometimes, I have to put my business hat on, and other times, of course, I still run a mic on there, and I want to show up as a comedian. But inevitably, if someone has a tech question or something like that, I got to flip back. It's hard to do. And way back when I lived in New York, I was a manager at the Magnet Theater, the Improv Comedy Theater. And we would be getting ready to go on stage, and then the owner would run out. He's like, "Hey, we've got people wanting to sign up for classes. Can you come in and register them?" I'm like, "I'm about to do a show." And it's like, whoop, whoop, switch my hat around. And yeah, it's weird because like I'm here to perform, darn it. But so yes, to answer your question, sometimes, but over the years, I've really learned to lean into it, and I really love doing it, and I see the difference it's making in the community that we're building, and that's pretty satisfying.
All right,
So,
fair enough. And to your credit, like you knew that you had this weakness in not coding, and how do I get somebody to help out with most people in the arts, and I say this as a general one stroke brush type of thing. Most people in the arts do not have the business sense. If you're a creative or you're a business person, very few of those half of brains kind of meet in the middle and say, I can handle creativity and I can handle business together. But I find that most people are unaware or have lack the self-awareness to say, I don't have this skill, I need to go someplace and get this skill and take some action to learn it. So to your credit, good for you to go back to school and get all that kind of information. Humbling experience to going back to school or not? Or was it a little bit?
I went back to school at 50, and I was clearly the oldest person in the room, older than some of my professors. And so when you're doing case studies on Blockbuster and I'm sitting here looking at my card from Blockbuster, I don't know the outcome. I kind of know the answer. I know how they start, or Netflix and things like that. So, I mean, I was clearly double the age, and I didn't even move the needle on the median age of my class. Most of them had never had a job before.
See, now, if you were a man, and I'm just saying this as a sexist pig myself, that is like I've said this, if they were going to make college tuition free again, I'm just going to go back just to sit in a room full of young girls, and not like I'm going to do anything about it, but just to feel that energy and be connected to them. To me, that would feel like, I don't know, like it's breathing young life back into me to be around that energy. Did you get any of that?
Well, I thought I would, and then COVID happened. So then after like a couple weeks, we were at home online. They tried doing things. It got it got shut down, and then I was just, on the Zoom like everybody else.
Yeah,
so
Blockbuster call. Professor Hefner. Were they listening, Professor Hefner, were listening to our previous conversation there about you, Hefner? Where's the new person in the chat room? Don't know if that's a real handle or not.
Professor Hafner is a comic on Plausible.
Oh, okay, so that's probably who that is.
Yeah, Jason Hafner. He hosts an open mic, the Syllabus open mic.
So, is there any? I hate to say the quality control, like, because if you say no, then it feels like, oh, we don't care. But I mean, have you ever had to turn somebody down, say you're not ready to do this?
She turned me down many times.
Yeah, I tell GD all the time. He just is so persistent. I don't know what to do.
Can I hire you to do that here?
No, I think I think kind of like in the real world, in the wild, in person, people kind of weed themselves out after a while. But I really haven't had to worry about it too much on Plausible. I think the nice thing about it is there's such a community vibe. Like there's a lot of people who go to all the things and help set the tone and are very gracious and welcoming and extending support. So, and the people who are running mics seem to get it. And they welcome people when they come into the room and do the things. So, it's so far so good. I believe there's always a tipping point where things will kind of tip. You can it's kind of like when they say you have a company and it gets to about 150 people, then suddenly the culture shifts.
Yeah, things do change, and this has been a hot topic, hot button topic for me going back 15 years now on social media, where a lot of musicians were running open mics, and I voiced my opinion, which you should never do on social media, that
Yeah.
I'm for closed mics for real beginners, and if you really want to be supportive, this was my opinion at the time, and it really hasn't changed. Although I'm going to say it has because I don't want to get attacked again. But I think to be supportive of people who are just starting out, they really need to do it in a supportive closed mic way. You need to be able to say, "Listen, you're not ready to be performing in public in front of strangers yet. Why don't we do 2 or 3 in a closed room around other supportive professionals who can give you tips on how to do it with first time you get in front of strangers, and your experience and growth will be much better having had that behind the scenes starter package rather than a full open mic. It's closed mic." And boy, people just took that the wrong way. Oh, you're trying to be an elitist, and what makes you an expert? I was like, I've embarrassed myself by going out there before I was ready. That's what makes me. I've been in the trenches. Any of that kind of
When you say closed mic, what do you mean? No audience
I mean, like,
members?
not no audience members who are only already established. So you close it off to people who are going to be supportive, but established members of the community who have done it before, who know how to be successful
Yeah.
in this.
Well, so far, all of our mics are essentially. So I have categories of types of events on Plausible. It's a show, which means audience. Hey, these people are ready to perform. Open mic. These people are just working out jokes. These people are working out delivery, perform their practice. An open mic, it's practice. So I have a little thing, I think, on the frequently asked questions, and then another area where it kind of defines what these things are. And I put that in every newsletter every week. Like and I categorize the event and the event hosts put their events in these categories so that when it's posted publicly, it can set expectations, to your point. So if someone does go to an open mic on Plausible, if they number one, they should have read what they're signing up for, and in the description and the fact that it's listed as an open mic should tell them these people are not here to necessarily perform as it is a show, but it is as an open mic in which they're working out bits, and it may be rough.
Yeah, I've
So
seen like top-notch professionals working out jokes in places like on a Tuesday night at the Stand. You can see Mark Norman, Joe List, and other people like of that notoriety on stage working at completely new material, and that's a little different. Like I subbed for a guy who had an open mic here, and I went down there and not knowing what to expect, and the first person who came up was a young girl who could not tune her guitar. I had to tune her guitar for her. And I thought, well, you're not ready for this. This is probably, you should do it in a more supportive, because the people in the crowd were getting angry as I was tuning the guitar for her. So it's not good for them, I think. In some ways, you have to, and I would not want to be in that position to be constantly having to make that judgment call and telling people, you're ready, you're not ready. It's a difficult.
yeah. Well, I also think too, whoever is hosting the open mic, like when they're advertising or promoting their open mic, set the expectation, all levels, expect, here's your pros working out there, kind of like put that out there and let people know. So I don't disagree with you, but I also know that at some point a newbie has to get out there.
Yeah.
And I've had to get out there, and I think bombing and making a fool of ourselves is part of that humbling experience of like, oh, I'm not as funny as my parents tell me I am.
Yeah.
I think that's the rude awakening sometimes people actually need, so that they start taking some feedback and rewriting their
Yeah,
their
unfortunately,
bits.
life cannot be pain-free. We have to we have to learn.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to bump your knee and figure out oh, I wasn't supposed to run that way.
Right. And it's like we don't understand what the term, the stove is hot really means until we stick our face on it, our hand. Face might be a little aggressive, but like then we understand once you burn yourself. Oh, okay, that's hot. I got it.
Yeah.
I know what-
Slaptail is in the room. He says, "Hi, Leanne. I swear one of these days I will read your email or something to that effect." I got one earlier this week, and I'm wondering, do you write it? Because I thought it was an important one, and there's a lot of things I would probably think are important information, and it was about how to punch up your comedy poster. Do you like get those ideas and then sit down and research, or are you just talking from your heart and your experience? Because my experience is you can't tell I scroll past them because all the comedy posters start looking cookie cutter, like I just took somebody's template and worked with it, and then I just assume, oh, I've read this one before. Did you? Is that just something you just take from your heart and your experience and say it's the same kind of impression, or do you do like research to figure out this is the marketing best proven techniques and best practices? And
It's a bit of both, a lot of it is because I see what people are putting out there. And I don't know about you, but when we look at social media and people are promoting their shows, I have to put my readers on. I have my screen font size like 85 or something. I only see one letter at a time on a text. But what I notice is that they do all look a lot alike, and sometimes there's so much information and pictures and graphics, and I can't read it, or it's blurry, or the font is in cursive. I can't read cursive on my phone anymore. Like I'm too old. But the thing is if it's fancy or it's too much, I don't know what you're trying to tell me. So and some people are new, and to your point earlier, not everybody, people are artists, but it may look pretty artistically, but I can't get any information from it.
Right, yeah.
So what do I need? I need to know, what is it? When is it? Where is it? How do I register?
Yeah.
Right. So in that article, I did some research on, I went to like HubSpot and some marketing tools just to verify, but like, what are the recommended font sizes and things like that. So people, like, when you put it out there, first of all, make it in a shape that fits the social media platform that you're putting it on, and then put in the key information, and then make sure you add the call to action and link the correct links. Because a lot of time, if you're copying, pasting links from one platform to another, it doesn't work. And you'll end up with a broken link, because if you copy your paste something you posted on LinkedIn, is anyone on LinkedIn? And then you paste it on Facebook, it's going to have a LinkedIn prefix and everything. It gets all messy. So like, you can't just do that. So just things like that. Like if you're wondering why people don't come to a show, start with what information you're sharing.
Yeah, Slaptail has a comment about using AI for the poster stuff. I'm not a big fan of AI especially for graphics, and those kind of things that are marketing graphics. I think you can do it for a background graphic, but then you're going to have to put all the information on top of it manually in Photoshop. That's just where I am. I don't think AI is good enough to understand human motivation yet. And how you get people to actually come out to shows. But that font thing that you brought up, boy, is that a sensitive subject. Billy Wayne Davis, who was a friend, and I still love him, even though he's not talking to me. 2 years ago on Twitter, he put all his tour dates, and he used a script font that nobody could read. And one person who wanted to go see his show said, "Could you please change the font? I can't tell where you are. I want to come see you." He got angry at that person, and was belittling them, like, "Oh, I'm supposed to change my font for you. I'm a comedian, not a graphic artist," and all this stuff. And he's getting angry. And I basically chimed in saying, this person has a point. This is a person who wants to support you. You have to make it easy for people to support you. He hasn't talked to me in 2 years because of But we get defensive about that stuff and all that stuff. But it really, I see them in script format too, and I'm like, well, I can't even tell what city you're in. Never mind. And there's a lot of times they'll just put a date in a city, like you don't name the club. Like how am I supposed to? How am I supposed to support you?
Right, just wandering around the city. Where's the comedy?
Now, whenever I have to design a flyer for anything, I show it to my wife because my wife is so not in the field. You know, like if you're in the field, sometimes you can plug things in that are missing because you know what should be there. But she is so far out of the loop. If it's not there, she's not going to see it. And she'll say to me, "What time? How much? Where?" Or it doesn't make. Or then she'll say, "Well, if I was going to do this, I would know. I wouldn't understand, and then I'd fix it so that my wife will understand it, and then I'll fix it so that I think it's more attractive, or whatever. Because my wife, what she needs and what the people out there need to see to what you need to catch people's eye aren't the same thing." Especially when people have like hundreds of options when they're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You want to try to catch their eye somehow.
Yeah. Well, it's even like if not everything has to fit on the poster on social media, you can put it in the the text that goes along with it.
Right.
That's always possible too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and sometimes that's even better. Sometimes you have a great photo and people, but I don't know that just getting to the point without getting like doing and also promoting like a one show at a time is also helpful. Because if there's a bunch of things, like what I notice when I look at people who are touring, if they put more than a couple of things in there, I'm like, okay, next. It's like not directed to me. It's like directed to everybody. And it's not like I want to be mean about that, but I know that our attention spans are very short. Very short.
And not just attention spans are short, but some people are just lazy.
It's
not even, they don't, it's not even like, if they don't see it like right there, they're not going to take the extra step. They're not going to hit, like if you were on tour, Leanne, and you go like, Leanne Linsky on tour, and then had the link so that, there's, oh, she's on tour. Where is she going to be? And you had like the little square thing to say it, click on that and then see the tour dates. They might not do that. They might be like, oh, I got to go to another site to see where she is. But if you put all the,
that's a great point. Like when people post about their show and then you send me to a different site and then I have to search that site for your ticket button. And then I have like, just give me the direct,
minimize the number of clicks that people have to do. Make it easy for them.
I mean, and sometimes I put, simply a plausible link, right? Depending on if I think, and I alternate because sometimes people haven't signed up yet or whatever. But yeah, ultimately we should all be taking that extra second to get the direct link because then it makes it a no-brainer. And then that's the other thing too. We talk about how hard it is just being online on our computer, clicking and going from one thing to another. Now most people are doing in-person shows and now people are expecting, not only do I have to have someone spend, 30 minutes looking for a link, now I expect them to put pants on and get in their car. So when people say to me, like, how am I gonna get people to come online? I'm like, they're already on the computer. They're already there. They're just looking for a parking spot. So you just give them the right link and they'll get there.
Yeah. One of my pet peeves is bios. And I find this more in the comedian area of the creative arts, more so than music or acting or any other, even authors and all these people. I think comedians, most often I get a bio that's like, so-and-so is from Pittsburgh. He has 4 cats and 2 dogs and grew up loving the Pittsburgh Pirates or something. Like what? You're not telling anybody about anything. And my first thought is, if this is the creativity you put into your bio, this is your pump up about you. Yep. How lame must your jokes be if this is the kind of energy you're putting into your career at this point? Have you done anything on how to do a good comedian bio?
I did. How to write a short bio. There's a whole article on that. because I agree with you 100%. There is nothing more, you know, people want to be promoted and they're like, how come no one comes to my show? Well, I go to look at your profile and it's empty. You didn't even put in a headshot.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what you look like, let alone anything about you. You did the bare minimum, you know, and like, were you here by accident? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then to your point, and then they're like, I work, or they'll put something like, I do taxes by day. That doesn't say much or anything about how you are as a comic. So yeah, I agree. Like, tell me a bit about yourself. The one thing I would stay away from is listing more than one or two names of famous people that you've worked with, because then your bio is all somebody else's work.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I mean, of course you want to, you know, we put a link, you can link to your IMDb page if you have TV credits and stuff, so you don't have to list everything. But like, yeah, talk yourself up a little bit, like, you know.
Yeah.
Say something
I'm not
exciting.
necessarily disagreeing with you, but the one thing that got me like to be friends with Joey Gaynor and really want to know him better is the first line of his bio was Joey Gaynor spent 16 years as Richard Pryor's opening act and toured with Richard Pryor exclusively. I was like, well, this.
Okay.
But that's one
That's
guy,
one.
and he was the biggest guy ever in his
Yeah.
time. So, but wow, I got to know more about this guy. And then he had plenty of, you know, stuff about Sam Kinison and all this other stuff in his extended bio that was a whole different thing. And I thought that was pretty cool. But I think, yeah, if you have that one really impressive, the thing today, people saying I got a minute on Kill Tony. Well, that's just really you got a free scratch off at the lottery. Basically, that's not anything you achieved. That you got lucky by a bucket pull. If they have you back or gave you a spot from that, that's something to talk about. If you got like that propelled your career. But to say I got on Kill Tony, you're basically telling me you won a lottery ticket. You won a scratch off, a $2 free ticket at that point. Yeah, so people need advice on that stuff. Maybe you should put together a book. I don't know. I'm just putting. They wouldn't read it anyway. So,
but thank you. They can barely get through an email. Like, but I think it's valuable, and I think when people get, I don't know at what point in their career they start really thinking about those things, you know.
Yeah.
So.
I know you're a futurist because you thought of this even before the pandemic and stuff. So you had this in your mind. You're a futurist. Do you think in terms of, because I know it's only been since 2022 that you've really put your full energy in this. Like, because I often when I was in the corporate world, I would get stuff like, tell me about your greatest success story or a time where you really had a big impact. Do you think about like a career that might have started on Plausible and now is blowing up, and then you can not necessarily take credit for that, but just feel a sense of pride in that you were instrumental in helping this person accelerate their career? So do you think about that? Have you had any of those moments yet?
Let me think. GD, you're blowing up.
GD won an award. I don't know if you're aware of his award. Are you?
No. What award?
GD, would you like to?
Oh yes. Oh, I am.
Yes, I got worst comedy special of all time for my 2016. My parents meant 2-hour special.
Wow.
That's
2 hour? I thought it was 90 minutes. When did it become 2
No,
hours?
it was. I wrote it as a 90-minute thing, and the guy who was supposed to be keeping my time, 10 minutes in, had an emergency, and he runs out the back door, and I just see him leaving on his phone, like.
I don't think it's not a fair competition then, because they might have been giving you that award just based on the fact that you could excruciate them for that long.
In
all fairness, the whole video, from start to finish is 2 hours and 8 minutes, I think. But I don't think it's not 2 hours and 8 minutes worth of material. There's like 4 minutes of like credits at the end and thank yous and stuff like that. Maybe 2 minutes of like the credits and scrolls. Not a lot of credits because there's like myself, I did like the writing, the editing, I did the writing and the performing. So it's like I checked off 3 boxes, and then I had 3 camera people, a sound guy, and then I thanked all the people who helped me practice, like all the rooms where I practiced my set.
Right.
I thanked them at the end. But that's about it.
Is there a best practice as far as that, like setups and all that, having a soundboard? Do you discuss that with people who are just starting out on Plausible? Best practices for doing your show in a really...
There's a lot of blog posts about best practices. And then we also have those live help sessions that people can attend. So like GD's done a number of them, because GD's really good with setting up the OBS system and integrating it with Plausible and setting up sound and audio and video and everything. So he comes back often for that. And I think, people take advantage of it, but I think more people could stand to benefit from that.
Yeah.
And really doing a quick tech rehearsal. It's like doing a mic check, log in, check it, log in before everybody else is there and make sure everything's up and running. And,
unfortunately, to get qualified help, like to get a qualified sound person, unless somebody really loves you, and nobody really loves GD, let's face it. But unless you have somebody who really loves you, who is competent, you're going to have to pay somebody, and you're already now putting yourself in the hole on a show that you're going to try to make a couple of bucks on. I mean, let's face it.
Not necessarily. No, people host shows all the time without have any co-host or a tech person, and they go just fine.
Wow.
I've run corporate shows on there and, private events, and I just run it myself. It's fairly straightforward. Now GD's doing stuff because he's incorporating music and he's running video and he's doing, like, he's going all out full on production mode. Yeah. I can still run video and everything like that if I want, and I have OBS connected. It's just a few clicks here or there. It's like anything else, practice. But in general, any comic should be able to get on there and run a show fairly easily.
Oh, I could probably go to New York and find at least 20 who can't even, they have difficulty turning on their phone. Like, how do I get on Facebook on my phone? Those people, well, I can't see them even figuring out how to open OBS. Never mind.
Well, you're not required to open OBS. Right. That's the above and beyond. You don't need OBS. Right. You can log into Plausible and just follow the prompts and do your thing. Yeah. That's just it. GD is a special case, I know that. I don't know if
he rode this special bus every day.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 2 things. One is, first of all, I think I really, and I don't know if I have enough reallys to express how I really like Plausible and what Leanne and Brian have done. And Brian is the one who does the help sessions. The man is like a godsend to me. Because Leanne was nice enough to say that I was like getting proficient at OBS, but I'm only proficient at OBS because Brian is much more proficient at OBS than I am. And I mean, I was having issues that no human being should have to have the week of their show. I just hit only thing I did was OBS says you have to update your software. Do you want to do it now? And I had 5 days before the show, and I went, sure, I'll do it now. And it just stopped talking to everything. Brian was so wonderful. I mean, we went through. He talked me off the ledge, back from the ledge, showed me how to build a better ledge so that the next time I'm on it, I have more room without falling.
See, and this is the reason I have Brian take those calls, because I would have pushed you right off the edge.
And I would have sent you a donation just out of appreciation for you pushing him off the edge.
Yeah, so
and
Brian,
I think all the listeners of this program would have been eternally grateful. Maybe you should consider doing that.
Yeah. We're actually currently we're working on a redesign, because we're going to be adding some new features that I'm super excited about, and we're going to roll it out this fall. But it's going to be even simpler. So I've really paid attention because to your point, there are a lot of users who, I mean, logging in or creating an account for anything is hard because not everybody's on their device all the time. Like not all comics are. And we do have a lot of older users. So my idea is I want to make it simple and I want to make it as easy as possible for people to do their comedy. I don't want people to have to become a techie to do comedy. Like I should, most comedians don't want to do marketing to be a comedian. Right. So we want to make it easier. So we are doing a redesign, not a rebrand, but a bit of a redesign to incorporate some other things and just really simplify it even further. So that's really exciting. And I'm like, this is probably the most excited I've been about one of our rollouts in a long time.
It's never fun to do a redesign or a rebuild of a website. It's never fun, but it is necessary. I had somebody contact me a couple of days ago. I did a band that I did a website for 15 years ago. And she said, could I help her with they changed mail providers from Aweber to MailChimp or something. And could I help with that? Go to the site and I see they still have the theme a WordPress theme that I installed for them 15 years ago. And it's not working because the server has not upgraded to PHP and all this stuff. And I'm like, at some point, every 5 or 7 years or so, you should kind of look at it and do is the site really holding up? Is it technologically sound? Is the foundation sound? Or do we need a rebuild? And it's important to do that every couple of years, and people don't realize that. You can't just build a website and walk away from it and 20 years later say, see, it's not working like it used to. Yeah.
No, we have to run updates and things. And so we've run some big updates lately. Now we're working on this redesign. And to your point, like, things change. And also paying attention to how people are using it and maybe what they're not using and like, why are they not using that? Or do they not know it's there? And kind of paying attention to that. And I take a lot of notes on that and I take people's feedback very seriously. And sometimes I have to say, well, we can't do it. I hear you. It can't be done today, but I hear you. And then I add it to the list. So, I take it. Right, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
That works. I know. Well, it seems to work. It seems placates people. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
And they don't check back in 2 weeks. StreamYard gave me that a couple of days ago, 2 week thing, and I wasn't really expecting 2 weeks. That's something you say to people. Don't bother me now.
Well, no, I always thank people because if people are taking the time and they care enough to let me know, it tells me I'd much rather that than them walk away and they never come back to plausible.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, this, I take it very seriously. So, so we're working on it. And we're always working on it. But in this particular case of the things in this rollout, I'm really getting excited about. And we also have a new designer on the team and she's fabulous.
Cool. Now, plausible, can people get that on a smart TV? Like if without it like having to go to like a web browser on a smart TV, but just like an app where they can click on it and like a YouTube app or any kind of like a plausible app.
We don't have an app that you download. It's all cloud-based. So you would go to a browser and open it. So you could do that on a smart TV. But let's say you have it opened up on your browser on your phone. You could cast it from your phone to your TV if you have Google Chrome.
Okay.
Or Chromecast. Yeah, you should be able to cast it to your TV from your phone.
Yeah, it's a little... I'm not being critical here, but it's a little more difficult than like just turn on Netflix and it's there.
Yeah. Ideally, it would be great to have that. Absolutely, I would agree. Not there yet, but yeah, that has come up of like, how could we put it on the TV?
And this might be a distraction from you because I know at heart you were a comedian and somebody who cares about their own performance. And I don't know if it's a distraction for you, but do you think because I am part of a lot of different communities, whether it's music, podcasting, and all this stuff, and they have conventions. Sometimes, where they're going to have like the Staples Center in LA will come out for a podcast, podcast or whatever. But some of them are online, some of them are in person. They seem like big, really energy consuming events for the people that put them on. But
Yeah.
I don't know if there seems to be value in it, because the companies that, or the communities that I noticed, they grow after that they have these conventions. You have any kind of future plans for something like that, like a plausible community conference or something?
You mean that we would host, or that we
Yeah,
would?
yeah, that you would host in a live event that people who use the platform come out and uh, discuss best practices and what worked for them, and how we can work together and doing some bigger things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love that idea. I know I have to be honest, I have been with this next rollout of features, I will be out and about. Like, I'll start here in Washington, in the Seattle area, be out and about with people in real life a little bit more often, and talking about plausible and doing things that way, because it will make more sense. But I love the idea of maybe having a conference that maybe people could come to, and doing something like that. Someone else has asked me if I would produce some in-person shows and things of that nature. And I usually am very hesitant, because producing really takes me away from focusing on all of the other things.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've produced shows in New York and in California, and it is time consuming, because I don't take it lightly. I put, like, if I'm producing, I'm putting it out there and booking people and really putting a lineup together, in the sense I'm not just putting people up there in any order, and I'm not putting a bunch of comedians I don't know anything about on a stage. So but something, an event where we could do a bigger thing, where it's more onboarding people, maybe doing some shows or mics or something, but getting people familiar with the brand. That's something that definitely I would be open to doing in the next year or so.
Yeah.
You know?
One of the other things that's frustrating for me across the board in entertainment is we've come to a place, the paradigm has changed, where not all that much, but in the older days, back in the 1700s and 1800s, when I was a young boy, the clubs and venues used to meet you, maybe not halfway, but maybe a third of the way in promotion and stuff. And I feel like with a community like Plausible, you have people that are going out and performing. Are they encouraged? Like, when they're on stage, you know what? I'm at, like, so and so local comedy club tonight, but you can find me in the future on plausible.com, and have like a banner, member of Plausible, or something, to let people who are comedy fans know that Plausible exists, and that you can find me also on Plausible. Is that an encouraged thing? And is there any kind of, like, recommended way of doing that?
I would love for people to do that. I know we had people, it's kind of funny. We had people who are on Kill Tony, right? Two of our members are on Kill Tony, and they roast battled each other. And then they said, well, how did you two meet? And they said, online. Well, they met on Plausible. And I was like, you could have said on Plausible.
Yeah, right.
Right. So yeah, I would love for people to do that. I think, and people are telling me that they're out there and they're talking at places when they perform, and that they do say stuff. I don't know, because I'm not there, but yeah, always encouraged and appreciated.
One piece of unsolicited advice, and listen, my advice is worth what it's worth, probably less than a penny now, but you could make it easy for them by having plausible member of plausible.com badge that they could, and encourage them to put it on their websites or their promotional stuff, so that people who are reading about them can say, oh, they're a member of Plausible. What's Plausible? Oh, I can go find that on my own.
Yeah.
It seems like a thing that might help with that. But coming back to
down right now.
I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Wrote it down. I love that. Yeah,
right.
that's easy and doable. I do have merch too, so people could wear shirts.
Yeah, wear it on stage, not I mean, but that's the point I was making about these comedy clubs. Is they stop, and music clubs, they stop meeting people halfway, and nobody ever says to them when they book it, you know what, I'm going to promote the hell out of this show. I would really appreciate it. I mean, sometimes it's just a communication of saying, I would really appreciate it if you work with me. Don't expect me to do all the promotional work on this, and can you help
Well, yeah, Plausible's not doing. I mean, people need to do their own promotion. I mean, you look at all of the pros; they're promoting themselves all the time, and clubs are going to promote them, and as even newbies get into the practice of promoting yourself, along with that's the other thing. I put out other posts about or other blogs about promotions, like let the venue know you're promoting yourself, because the venue is going to bring you back. The venue will then. I look at it this way: I can't care more about your show than you do.
Right. Absolutely.
Because I can focus on the other people who are telling a lot of people about their show.
Yeah.
So I do pay attention to that, and right now, I include all of the upcoming events in the newsletter. I make a point of putting a post out on social media the week of each, and a lot of them are very regular and everything, so they get into the rotation. And people need to learn how to tag people in their post properly, not just add the link, because that doesn't notify me. That's not a tag. Yes, add the link where people can register, but also at Plausible so that we get the notification and can comment and like and engage. Because if there's no comments or likes or engagement on a social media post, nobody's seeing it.
Yeah, the algorithm says to ignore this. Don't show it to anybody.
And then if I add someone as a collaborator on Instagram, that's a big one, because if I post something on Instagram and I add you as a collaborator and you accept it, now it shows up on both of our feeds at the same time.
Right.
And it doubles the impact. So yeah, things like that. I think it's really important for people to do. And I've put it out there a lot of times. The problem is getting people to read.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get people to read.
Now you imagine being one of these authors that I have on. They spend 2 years writing a book, and they just mention that statement to them. Getting people to read is like pulling teeth these days.
Yeah.
There's something else also. I back and Matt really, and matter of fact, Leanne, you being over 30, you may know about this as well. And Matt, I know knows about this. When I was in the band in the 80s, if you wanted people to know about your band, you had to physically go out and put flyers on telephone poles, and you had to do legwork. Okay. Yes. So now years later, you're telling me all I need to do is put a click, an ad, it's like, really, thank God I don't have to drive around putting up posters and then taking them back down if you're like being conscious that you don't want the trash, see, then you go around taking it back down. Yeah. See, but these kids grew up, and to them, the hard work is creating a link, and that's the hard stuff. It's like, no, you lazy bastards. We had to do leg work.
I was even when I moved to California, I was in Long Beach, and I started producing shows in Long Beach. So I was like, okay, well, I got to tell people. And, on social media, all my friends that I'm connected with were on the East Coast. So putting on my social media isn't going to get anybody, in California. So I went down and I printed out flyers, and I went up and down the street, and I asked every shopkeeper, will you put this in your window? Will you sponsor our show? Will you advertise our show? Because it was a heavy foot trafficked street. And it worked, and I got other business owners to sponsor us, so they'd give me things for giveaways. So if I gave them, I would thank our sponsors at our show, and then people would have to stay through the whole show to be there for the raffle. So I'd collect their emails when they came in. I have an email list going back 20 some years, so I would collect everybody's contact information when they'd come in, because that's how they would get a raffle ticket, into the raffle. And then I would grow my email list. I would give away prizes. I'd promote other businesses. People would go across the street and use their free appetizer coupons, stuff like that. And we did it I did a weekly show, and I would always get all of these gift certificates and things and it worked, and it brought people in.
Yeah.
People that I had never ever met before.
I spent my youth putting flyers in people's in mailboxes at midnight, driving around town, and they would see me come and go, like, what was that? That was Matt putting another flyer in the mailbox.
You gotta hustle, man. You gotta tell people. People just don't know by osmosis.
Yeah.
No, and one of the things I do, well, I was about to grab something up from up there, but I make
Salami? You
hard
got
copy
salami
flyers, put them in
hanging?
clubs. I'm sorry?
You got deli meats hanging from the ceiling? Is that what you?
No.
That's what that looks like behind you.
Sausage factory.
Deli meat.
Oh no, that's from Luray Caverns. Yeah. No, I'm a firm believer in like giving people hard copy stuff to touch and hold on to, sending out, creating hard copies of flyers and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, and I do want to say, like, with the plausible, at least what I'm
CD playing cards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. So I'm in the process. What I really want to do with plausible is because I've been told that I need to be a venue to myself, because with what I do, comedy clubs aren't going to accommodate me. So I need to create my own thing, like, rent a theater or go to venues where I can have that kind of control. And I want to live stream from those shows, those venues onto Plausible, which is why I've been practicing from my house with the, trying to create that kind of thing. Now I think I have all the equipment I need to, and I will be, setting that up. But I have friends who are doing one-man shows, one-lady shows, and I've been pushing Plausible and saying, look, this is another source of venue, another source of income or revenue. That's for your show,
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'll check and say, Leanne has so-and-so. No. Have you guys, gals, if you're out there, at least check out Plausible and see how it can add to what you're doing. Not replace, but add to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is, comedians, like there's comedians I will only do in person, and other comedians who are only able right now to do online. And then there's a few that do in between. I don't think it should have to be either or. It's not like I'm on this side, I'm on that side. It's I think it can all coexist. And I think that it can all help. I mean, especially for people who are looking for TV spots down the line, it's like, hey, how are you on camera? How do you know how to work a camera? Do you know how to change your jokes and your gestures and your delivery for an on-camera, head and shoulders only? Because, can you do that? So there's a lot of different things. And that's why I'm excited about this rollout in the fall. Is it's going to bring those things together, I think, a little bit more easily, so that it's not one camp against the other per se.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'd like to add, if it's okay, is that I know comedians that have doing their comedy stuff and they're putting it on YouTube, looking for revenue that way.
Good luck.
Okay, here, don't wait. Okay, here's the deal. I recommend you doing it on Plausible. Because if let's say you get 10 people on Plausible with whatever you're selling your tickets for, I guarantee you it's going to be more than you're going to make on YouTube in 6 months to a year. Okay, because you have to get hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube to make that kind of revenue. And if you are starting off in YouTube and you're still trying to build, if you have 400, 500, 600 members, you can build that based on Plausible as well. You can build that membership on Plausible as well. You don't have to, because it's YouTube,
Well, and to your point, the other thing is this doesn't have to be an either or. Right. You can do your show on Plausible, charge tickets, make money while you're creating the video. Then you can download and publish on YouTube and make passive income on YouTube if you have that many views on YouTube. You can do both. It's just adding to whatever else you're already doing and giving you the opportunity to make money immediately versus wait for it to come in or hope something that goes viral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And there, let's face it, you have to get to a certain level, and they've lowered the standards for getting part of the YouTube monetization program. When I first started, I think I had to have 10,000 views a month. That's down to like 500 or something, whatever it is now. But when I first got into the monetization on YouTube, I had to have 10,000 a month every month, and if you didn't make that 10,000 a month views, you would get cut off. Now,
Mm-hmm.
now it's less than that, but even still, there are standards you have to meet, and you really struggling for pennies if you're going to plan on the monetization stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I know we're kind of short on time, and I do want to let you go. But you mentioned this Brian fellow. Is that the team?
This Brian, he's my fellow.
He's your fellow.
That happens to be my husband.
Your husband.
Yeah.
So is it just the two of you, or do you have a team of people who are working with you?
Yeah, I have a team of people. Yeah. I have a developer and a designer, and actually I've been working with the same team for quite a while. Actually this whole time. There's been a few people who've kind of come and gone, who've been wonderful, but have come in at when we're needing this or needing that kind of thing. But in general, it's been pretty consistent.
One of the things, and again, this is unsolicited advice and maybe totally worthless, but one of the challenges of internet things like Plausible, and there's a music service which is similar to Plausible for musicians, is that the internet is a global venue,
Mhm.
and there are lots of small packets of local venues which are not necessarily going to know about all this stuff. And I think it behooves anybody who's going to be in that kind of marketplace and trying to build something like that to have local chapters. Like, this is our local representative in Indianapolis, and he can kind of bring people together and do local events that support the online community in a way. So it's like having team captains all around.
Yeah.
That kind of
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting too, because I mean, we have people in Canada, we have
Australia, probably, right? No.
New Zealand, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Ireland, the UK. I mean, you name it.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, one last thing. It just seems to me that there's tremendous potential in what you've built and what you're growing as a great offering for people in the business. Have you ever kind of reached out or thought about the idea of angel investors or taking on a partner, somebody who to bankroll this thing to make it blow up like a Netflix or
yeah. We had a pre-seed round back in 2021, and then since then we've been bootstrapping, which I think has worked out. I think I'm not opposed to that. I'm not currently fundraising at this time. Not to say I won't be in the future, but I think we're at a decent place where I don't necessarily need to do that at the moment.
All right. I'm going to propose
but if you're interested, we'll talk.
Yeah. I'm barely making the payroll with TD here, and but I am going to propose something, a non-financial working together. If you're open to this, I will build part of my website, which is just list your plausible listings for free, and you can just tell your people they can sign up and just put up their listings on my site, and we'll promote that every single day, like as part of a daily thing to support what you're doing, and hope we get more comedians involved, or at least interested, and at the very minimum following other comedians and supporting the other comedians who are currently on Plausible. So I'll start to build something like that again.
I'd hold off and wait, and you and I should probably talk offline, because I've got something coming out that would save you that time.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we will still be happy to kind of promote this stuff. And I think you can let the people, all they have to do is, once that thing is built that you're building, let us know that it's there, and we'll promote it every single day on this program as part of a recurring segment. This is the minute or two we give to Plausible every day, and here's what's coming up, and people should go.
I would love that. So I'll have something for you this fall that'll make it super easy for you to at a glance look and see what's coming up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely been worth it to have you back, and it's been a pleasure to meet you. And I hope you will sign up every day. You don't have to come on every day, but
Well,
just sign up because I could use the extra work. And you are my good luck charm now, whether you want it to be or not. You.
awesome. Well, maybe I will definitely come back. I'll come back in the fall after this redesign.
All right, I'll book it. I'll book a show for that day right now today. All right, thank you for being here, and thanks for getting up early. I know you're on the West Coast, and it's very early where you are. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me back. Always good talking with you.
Have a great day and good luck. And
Bye.
I wish a new pandemic for everybody. So plausible. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm
Yeah, you don't have to kid, Matt. We are only one executive decision away from a pandemic.
All right. I didn't say what you think I said. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.
Bye.
I didn't say chicka. I said chickanuga.
That's fine.
All right. Anyway, good stuff there. Listen, people go to Plausible. If you're a comedy fan, go there now and just check it out and sign up. And so you get the newsletter and you know when people are performing on Plausible and all that stuff. You can also support GD there. And so I don't really have to sweat making payroll every month for this.
Yeah, it's funny. The last show I did, 3 days after that, people start asking me, are you going to do another one? Are you going to do another one? It's like, do you think I have like 90-minute shows just crawling out of my ass that I can or even 1 hour shows or half-an-hour shows? It's like I'm working on 2 shows right now that I'm writing right now. I'm trying to produce a show for comedians 50 and older, 55 and older. It's called Funny Old Farts. And I'm looking for local venues to help me where I can perform it.
I have a question. These people these people who write to you and said, "Are you going to do another one?" Did you go to verify before you even replied back to them? Did you go and verify that they actually went and saw this one and paid the current one and paid for it?
Oh no, I know they didn't. No, the people that saw it because they missed. They're like, I missed it. Or
you can't go back and buy it in.
Well, I can, I can, but to be honest, I don't think that show was okay. My wife says I'm harder on myself than I need to be, but it was not up to my standard where I would put it out there to replay it.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying, but even so, I think my first CD was shitty, but if somebody comes up and says, "Can I buy your second CD?" Yeah, you have the first. I'm still going to try and sell it because I want to move this, and a couple more bucks doesn't hurt to have. So yeah, I'm going to sell you something I'm not necessarily. I mean, if they're saying, "Oh, you're going to do another one," you could still buy the one that you just didn't buy. Go buy the one that's there, and that will give me some resources to do another one. How about that? How about you support me in that way, you fucking dick? No, I don't mean that's probably not the best marketing customer.
No, calling someone a fucking dick is not the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You
don't want to hire me for that.
No, I'm looking at my desk because I have not been putting my receipts I have not done my receipts for like 4 months. And they're piling up. I need to enter them into my computer, in my spreadsheet, so I won't be in December entering all my receipts into my spreadsheet for taxes. I gotta get my receipts. I gotta enter my receipts into my thing. All
right. And he brought receipts.
Oh yeah,
that's like a big current catchphrase. We brought receipts.
Yeah. Thank you, Anne. And
what are you thanking Anne for?
Well, it's about the time for her to go to watch
Tony Walker, because Tony Walker's in Memphis. I don't know if you know this about Tony Walker. He's in Memphis. This is like the 50th anniversary of 48th anniversary, something. Yeah, 48th anniversary of Elvis's death, and Tony is at Graceland today in Memphis.
Oh.
Is he doing the show live from Memphis? That would be cool from Graceland. I know he was at on Beale Street last night. in Memphis.
Yeah, I saw that post and I did like it. I said it didn't connect that Beale Street was like, I was thinking there's a Beale Street in New York. That's what I thought to myself. I saw that picture and went, that's in New York? Because I didn't think of him as having left New York.
He's walking with his feet 10 feet off of Beale, or in Tony's case, 1 foot way off of Beale. 1,000 miles. Actually, it's in a locker now, a meat locker somewhere. It's hanging in GD's deli case above him up there. He's got a salami, he's got a bologna, and he's got Tony's old leg. I'm not a good person. That's the bottom line here. I'm not a good person. Good stuff with Leanne, though. I think there is a lot of potential in this. Hardcore comedy fans, they're definitely not going out to comedy clubs anymore. They know of all these people. They buy their specials and podcasts and all that stuff. But I'm still seeing, no matter what anybody says, like Steven will tell me, oh, these people from Kill Tony who've done a minute are selling out clubs locally. I don't see David Tell selling out club. I know he did 2 shows in one night and at a local club that I won't mention, that we happen to be on their network right now. But neither room was packed together. I mean, both rooms could fill more. So when you say guys who did a minute on Kill Tony selling out rooms, even Instagram, these influencers, these people who are funny, get a following on Instagram, I don't think they're selling out. They might bring more people than you would have you not had that thing to put on your little flyer. But I don't see that selling. Hardcore comedy fans are not going out to clubs. They're watching Netflix. They're watching 800-Pound Gorilla or Comedy Dynamics or whatever. They're not. So I think Plausible has a great potential. It's just really hard when you have such a small team. Her and this Brian fellow.
Well, it's not just the 2 of them. They said she just got a new developer.
She has a team. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
but it's definitely it's more challenging for people like that to kind of compete. I mean, if you can compete with the people who've been doing it for 20 years, not necessarily doing live. They don't do live. Well, Netflix is live. Netflix isn't live streaming, right? It's
well, I guess they have live streaming events, but for the most part, it's not.
Yeah, comedy though. I think they have like MMA and stuff, and they have some sporting events and stuff. But I don't know if they've done comedy shows live yet.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm working on producing a couple of shows. One is actually one would be ready within like 3 weeks. I just need a venue, and that's the one for Funny Old Farts. All of us are being 55 and older.
Nothing funny about old farts.
Well, it depends on what they had for lunch. Well, and the sound it makes,
or when it comes out, like you get to a certain age, and Davey Do, the award-winning director Davey Do, will vouch for this. You get it because he saw me do it. When you reach about, I don't know, 59 or something, and you bend over to pick something up, and it just automatically fart because you're stretching your body cavity in a way that it's not used to anymore, and then all of a sudden you're not in control of your flatulence.
I was in Target, and there was a couple there, and the Target. That there's a couple there. They were walking, and they were like maybe 7 or 8 hours away from me. And the guy was walking, and every few steps he'd fart, and you hear him like. And his wife wasn't fazed one bit. It's like they just do this all the time, And they're walking, and he's farting. And when I finally get to that section of Target, I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck?" It was awful, but the lady was not phased. He's farting and just. Now I have a question for you that's not fart related. If you're in a store shopping, how far does someone have to be away from you before that? If somebody sneezes, how far away do they have to be before you don't say bless you? It's like if they're 5 feet away, you say bless you, but 10 feet you don't, or do you even say that?
I would never talk to another person I did not know. Even I just make believe I didn't hear it. Nobody exists in my world outside of this house. I talk to my family. I don't talk to strangers. You know what? Talking to Strangers was the name of my book, and then I realized how in social situations, or out in public, I don't do that very often. Very rarely for me to even make eye contact with people. I would basically, I'm putting out the vibe. Get off my planet. This is my planet. What are you fucking people doing on my planet? Get out of my store. Get out of my world. Get out of my country. Get off my planet. So I'm never saying bless you to anybody unless I know them. No, oh, I like you. Okay, bless you. Bless you, my child.
I think I don't know how far away it was, but they were probably like 3 aisles over, and I heard the sneeze and I yelled, "Bless you!"
Wow.
And then my wife says, "Why'd you do that? You can't even see them." And then a couple seconds later, they yell back, "Thank you!" And I said,
Wow.
"That's why." I said, "That's why."
Thank you.
Yes.
Your thank you means everything. Oh, that's fine. Good for you. You're a nice person, not unlike me. I'm not a nice person at all.
Well, I don't claim to be nice. I'm just want to make the world a better place. I don't know if that's nice or not. But it's also selfish because I want the world to be a better place, but it's because I live in it and I want it to be better for me. And if it's better for me, hopefully other people benefit. So yes, I'm very selfish about that.
All right, then. I don't think I'm going to play Turn On Your Radio today. I think I'm going to end with propaganda. I think you
should. I think you should.
All right. So we have guests tomorrow. We have 2 guests tomorrow. I'm not going to bother looking them up right now because I'm just going to play propaganda.
I was so happy to have Leanne today because I didn't have to do any kind of research for her.
Yeah.
That felt good. It's like, okay, I know Leanne. I don't have to research anything. I know this.
Yeah. I didn't research anything either, and I know.
But you don't usually research anyway.
I don't. I basically will read that they grew up in Pittsburgh and have a cat and a dog. And then, well, what am I going to talk to this person about? How's your dog?
That reminds me, I'm going to reach out to Crack the Sky's manager to see if to remind them that they can get on the show and interview and stuff
tomorrow,
like that.
I have an early gig tomorrow. I have them on. No, we have guest book tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. So please, I'm not kidding about this. Go to YouTube, find propaganda, my YouTube channel, and share it with people because I can't just have this song out there with like 120 likes on it. That makes me look bad. I don't want to look. A man in my position can't afford to be made to look ridiculous. Who said that, GD? You watched the movie. Who said that?
I watched Dog Day Afternoon the other day.
All right.
I hadn't seen Dog Day Afternoon. I watched that.
Oh, Leon, my wife Leon.
Right. Yeah. I watched that one. I just a couple of days ago, and my wife goes, "You haven't seen Dog Day Afternoon?" I said, "I know about it. Right? That's the one with yell Attica and then I said, and that's when he says, "You're out of order. The whole courtroom's out of order." She goes, "No, that's a different movie."
That's a different movie.
I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, that's
And Justice for All, by the way, if anybody wants to go check out that one. But Dog Day Afternoon, I believe today is the anniversary.
Really?
Right? August 19th. Yeah. 1972, maybe. Yeah. Well, that's a real event, by the way, that Dog Day Afternoon. And yeah, which is stunning when you think about it, that in 1972 or whenever the actual date was, that there was the idea behind robbing this bank was so that his wife Leon could get sex change surgery. We're talking 55 years ago now, 53 years ago. It's been part of our culture that long. Why are we still?
Yeah, there was a joke. I think it could have been Milton Berle, but I could be wrong. But one of the old guys, and they said, so and so went abroad and they came back abroad. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and so even then it was a thing. You could get a sex change operation.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see you tomorrow. Check and go share the like, comment. Definitely leave a comment and share with your friends. Please, I don't beg for much. I'm begging you, people. I want this thing. I want, you know what I really want? I want MAGA people to see this thing. They're not going to agree with any of it. They're going to hate me for it. But I want them at least to be exposed to, and you know he fucked his daughter. You know he raped children, and that's all right with you. First of all, it's all right with you that he raped children. And you know he fucked his daughter and killed his mother too. I think it's important for them to hear those lines and the rest of it too, but especially those lines, because I'm so fucking angry that we're just letting this thing slip by. Oh sure, let the pedophiles. If it were Bill Clinton, and it probably is Bill Clinton, but you're willing to let Bill Clinton slide on it just to save Trump's ass. That's how much you love Trump. You're willing to let Bill Clinton slide for fucking raping children, just to save Trump's ass for raping children.
I don't know anybody who's willing to let Bill Clinton slide.
Well, they're willing to not let the evidence come out.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it's not like there are any Democrats who are, well, let's protect Bill Clinton. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, no, let's put it all out there.
Well, yeah, so we know Clinton is most likely, I mean, 99 odds are 99-1 that he's in the stuff. So if knowing that's true, release the files. Oh, we can't do that. Why? Because you know Donald's in there, and that's a line you're not willing to cross. You're not willing to admit the guy you support is a child raper. So please comment on the video, share it, and make sure your MAGA friends at least sit through it. Make them sit through it. And
I want to compliment you. I think you found some very flattering photos of Donald Trump to use in the thing. I should say flattering in the sense that they're realistic.
The shit in the pants one was not that hard to find. You'd be surprised if you Google Donald Trump shit in his pants. You have a plethora of images.
Wow. The same shorts, or is this like the same event, or has he done it multiple times?
Yeah, apparently he's done it enough to fill up a Google page full of brown stains in his pants. So there you go. Propaganda. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.
Stand up to make America great again, but your thoughts and prayers are gonna have to wait again. Just 2 weeks and another 2 weeks and another 2 weeks, and every time he speaks, you shout "Say Al" and salute with a smile. But the leader of the cult was convicted at trial, and the message is constant, it's loud and clear. Just tell them that they're winning, they'll believe what they hear. The resistance lays down and cowers at the feet. A nature once was strong, now crumbles in defeat. Lies upon lies with deadness in their eyes. The truth is exposed, but still they deny. Surrendered identity, deaf, dumb, and blind. Reciting the mantras, controlling their minds. It's all propaganda. 24/7 film at 11. Propaganda. Creating the Aryan white man's heaven. Propaganda. Fooling with the nation, a stage assassination. Propaganda. Is it a riot or a peaceful demonstration? The crocodiles, the Fox News fascination with Nazi occupation. Yeah, fuck you, Jesse Waters, and Lauren Graham too. What? It's all propaganda. 24/7 film at 11. Propaganda. Creating the Aryan white man's heaven. Propaganda. Fooling with the nation, a stage assassination. Another pumping stance, a show about a deal while he's shitting in his pants, believing he's a golf pro who wins and never cheats, while living on the big back food of veins out of his feet. You know that he raped children and that's okay with you. He even fucked his daughter and killed her mother too. He's father gone and Biden and morbidly obese. He lives chaos and conflict and says that he wants peace. He tells you how to feel and what you should express, and never trust the experts, the media, or press. It's propaganda. 24/7 film at 11. Creating the air
You're listening, bro. Full transparency, right? Making bank off The Office. And Joe Rogan